From a surface-level perspective, Michael Mann's 2004 film Collateral is an action movie. The action movie traits which stand out the most are the extraordinary documentary-style cinematography, the plot all taking place on one night, and the brutally realistic shootouts. But all of these details are relatively standard and can be found in almost every action movie. These details aren't what make Collateral a great movie. The heart of Collateral is when the film goes back to the basic roots of cinema, stripping away the story, action, and violence and going back to two men sitting in a room, talking. Or in this case, a cab. The film tells the story of a cab driver named Max who is forced by a hitman named Vincent to drive him from place to place in LA as he kills people. The initial plot setup forces the antagonist and protagonist to directly interact throughout the entire film. Through their conversations in the cab, we learn about the similarities and differences between them. As a result of their dialogue, both men begin influencing each other's values, all building to a showdown where both men face off, permanently changed by one fateful night. What screenwriter Stuart Beattie establishes in both Max and Vincent's first scene is their values and their goals. Max is introduced in his cab dispatch. The garage is filled with men yelling and the screeching of power tools. Max seems to take comfort by going into his cab and muting the noise in his life. We see that Max's key value is cleanliness. He takes special care before he leaves the garage that everything in his cab is in the correct place.
This is the cleanest cab I've ever been in. You ready to get the ride?
Yeah, I share it with the day shift guy.
Max is happy to enjoy the simple pleasures in his life, but everything needs to be in order. Later in the day, when Max meets Annie, his goal is established. This goal being to create his own limo company.
Limo company I'm putting together. Island limos. It's gonna be like an island on wheels. It's gonna be a cool groove, like a club experience. When you get to the airport, you're not gonna want to get out of my limo.
Max has dreams, but when we meet him, he doesn't seem to be pursuing these dreams with much tenacity. Vincent, on the other hand, is a dispassionate character. In the opening airport scene, we see Vincent trade bags with a contact he runs into. This action encapsulates Vincent's character. He moves from place to place, never caring too much about what he is leaving behind or where he is going. Unlike Max, Vincent sees no point in ambition or dreams. Vincent's key value is time.
How long do you think this would take?
7 minutes.
7. Not 8, not 6.
2 minutes to get across to 110 to Normandy to Venice, 3 minutes. Over to Union is 1 plus 1 for shit happens.
Okay if I time you?
Knock yourself out.
He lives by a schedule and strict rules. So long as Vincent completes assignments in a timely manner, it doesn't matter to him where he is going. His goals don't relate to his killing people, they only relate to his payment. Stuart Beattie claims that the base idea for Collateral's story came to him when he was taking a cab ride home. He thought about the possibility of a passenger in a cab being a murderer who was trusted by the cab driver casually. Collateral begins this way with Max and Vincent exchanging friendly dialogue when they first meet. The point of conflict comes when...
Oh no! Shit! Fuck!
This moment obviously blows Vincent's cover and forces him to take Max hostage. But thematically, it also disrupts Max's value of cleanliness.
What are you doing?
I got to clean it up. Hey, it's a mess.
So, Lady Macbeth, we're sitting here and the light's green. Leave the seats. You no longer have the cleanest cab in La La Land. You gotta live with that. You focus on the job. Drive.
In their second key dialogue scene, Vincent shares a philosophy which seems to be the guideline of his life.
Now we gotta make the best of it. Improvise, adapt to the environment. Darwin, shit happens, I Ching, whatever, man. We gotta roll with it.
Max is resistant to this mentality at first. He attempts to escape from the cab when Vincent ties him in, which goes,
You give me the fuck one!
awry. Vincent also tricks Max into witnessing his next hit firsthand at the jazz club. But the point when Vincent's disruption to the order in Max's life reaches its peak is when they visit his mother. Max hits a breaking point in this scene and for the first time in the film does something out of sheer instinct without any regards for the consequences. Now, both men have their values disrupted. Max's actions cost Vincent time, and the mess in Max's life is only growing bigger. In the next cab scene, Vincent directly targets Max's goals.
What is this? Driving a cab temporarily, it's just all bullshit, huh?
It is not bullshit.
12 years isn't temporary, Max.
In spite of Vincent's belittlement, Max insists that he is working to achieve his goals. However, it is evident from Max's excuses that his value of cleanliness is preventing him from achieving his goal.
Gotta get the cash together. Insurance, bonds, maintenance. tires, gotta staff up, get the right client list. It's not just simply get the car and put asses in the seats.
Why not?
Because island limos is more than just a ride. It's like a club experience, cool groove. Don't want it to end. It's gotta be perfect. Perfect.
The limo company he is making needs to be perfect. If it isn't clean, he isn't willing to achieve his goal. While the hospital scene served as a moment of sheer instinct for Max, the defining moment for his character is when he meets Felix. When it's clear that the conversation with him is turning sour, Max's only way of escape is to fully embrace Vincent's attitude, going so far as to echo Vincent's philosophy.
But hey, shit happens. Gotta roll with it. Adapt. Darwin. I Ching.
A question which Vincent nonchalantly asks Max in the cab reinforces the fact that Max is a passive character.
You gonna call her?
Who?
You know, your lady friend, the one who gave you a business card.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Notice how after Max says, maybe, maybe not, the camera never focuses back on Max. He never pursues even small goals because he lives by a philosophy of someday. Following the club scene where Vincent takes out his second to last target, the final moment in Max's character progression occurs. Go! This shot perfectly sums up what has happened to Max. This is something which Max would never do when we first meet him. But because of what he has seen and how much his values have been challenged, Max has abandoned his values and is living by Vincent's philosophy. Directly after this, Vincent and Max have a final verbal conflict. Unlike Max, who is hid behind excuses for the entire film, Vincent establishes exactly what his true values are in direct dialogue.
Then what'd they do?
How do I know, you know? Look at that witness for the prosecution look to me. You know, probably some major federal indictment of somebody who majorly does not want to get indicted.
So that's the reason.
That's the why. There's no reason. There's no good reason, there's no bad reason to live or to die.
Then what are you?
Indifferent. Get with it.
Max targets Vincent's passive attitude towards people and how his self-awareness has caused him to become disconnected from the world he is so critical toward.
As in, if somebody had a gun to your head and said, you gotta tell me what's going on with this person over here or I'm gonna kill you. What is driving him? What was he thinking? You know, you couldn't do it, could you? Because they would have to kill your ass because you don't know what anyone else is thinking.
Vincent belittles Max over his inability to achieve his dream because Max isn't working hard enough to achieve his goals.
Look in the mirror. Paper towels, a clean cab, limo company someday. How much you got saved?
That ain't none of your business.
Someday my dream will come. One night you'll wake up and you'll discover it never happened. It's all turned around on you. It never will. Suddenly you are old. It didn't happen. And it never will because you were never going to do it anyway.
Vincent is self-aware but doesn't have dreams. Max has dreams but has no sense of self-awareness. Because of this, both men have trapped themselves in a life of meaninglessness.
Millions of galaxies of hundreds of millions of stars and a speck on one in a blink. That's us, lost in space. A cop, you, me. Who notices?
Rather than go through the motions, Max chooses to crash the cab to try to stop Vincent. Following the crash, the final point of conflict between Max and Vincent is established. Vincent wants to kill Annie, and Max wants to save her. This leads to a classical standoff with the villain approaching from the right and the hero approaching from the left. An important detail to note about this scene is that Vincent fires on Max with his signature Mozambique technique of 2 shots to the chest followed by 1 to the head. Max, on the other hand, shoots randomly and with his eyes closed. Ironically, Vincent's strictness costs him his life, while Max's new random behavior lets him land a killing shot. The conclusion for both men comes from calm dialogue after Vincent is mortally wounded. Vincent only killed for a living, and now he has come to acceptance with the fact that he isn't going to live. His last bit of dialogue shows that he still hasn't given up his view of the world.
Hey, Max. A guy gets on the MTA here in LA, dies.
Think anybody will notice?
To Vincent, the world is disconnected and no one notices the struggles of other people. Vincent is given peace and closure for his final moments. For Max, there is hope. He knows now what he needs to do to achieve his dream, and a part of Vincent has now become an integral part of Max. Collateral is broken up into two paces of filmmaking: the even-paced cab conversations between Max and Vincent, and the fast-paced action sequences outside of the cab. Without the conversations, Collateral is a dispassionate nighttime thriller with brilliant direction. But pristine character writing and dialogue is what makes those action sequences meaningful. Values and goals are established for the main characters early in the film. As the characters interact, they begin to change each other. All of the development is subtle and so seamless that you may not notice on a first viewing. But the character development is what makes Collateral a great film rather than a forgettable early 2000s action movie. Beyond the stylish cinematography and guns, the heart of Collateral lies in the character development and when the film goes back to the basic roots of film. Two men sitting in a cab, talking.
I can tell you I'm a shadow.